Okay, I've packed up the box for the contest winner, and now we're going to talk about why your lens hood doesn't fit, and let me out! Let me out! He's in the box. Anyway, seriously, this is just an example. A lot of you people ask me why your lens hood doesn't fit, even if it's a Chinese knockoff, which are the worst, or even if it's a genuine Nikon lens hood. And the reason is that the transition period here between the set level and then the recess level above it is too tight. Now Nikon, except for their very, very expensive lenses, are basically using also the Chinese knockoff companies for the production of their lens hood, and you can actually damage your lens. I've actually seen so many broken lens hoods, ones that actually have the thin plastic right here. It's typically broken. And I've told you before about applying a thin line of grease to your lens hood to get it to work, but there's actually another thing that I have to do to a lot of my lens hoods, even some from Nikon, but especially the ones that you buy that are off-brand copy lens hoods, and that is, if you can actually see here, and you would need to draw some illumination to it, but there you go, you can see it. Now this this outer set ring here, bayonet mount ring, that sits closest to the lens, and then there's another one that's a millimeter or two higher. The transition area between those two, where you actually press it onto your lens and then you actually twist it, the transition period between the edge of the top one and the edge of the bottom one is too sharp. What you'll need to do is either take a file or take your knife and actually trim it off so that the actual corners of the two, if I can show you something as a demonstration here. What you have is, like, if you're actually placing this on your lens and then you're actually swiveling this onto your lens, the issue with this is that these corners right here are too sharp. They'll actually sit like this. Here we go. You'll actually place this on your lens and then you'll twist it this way, for example. And what you'll need to do is you'll need to file off these corners right here. There's three of them for your bayonet mount for your lens hoods. Just take a knife and cut it off, and then use some sandpaper if you want to make it smooth, but file down these corners here. You can actually take off the entire corner, and that'll make it mount really easily. Otherwise you'll end up breaking your lens hood after a few times of mounting your lens hood. Or at very worst, I've actually heard of some people damaging their filters because they press too hard and then they crash their thumb or whatever into their UV protective filter, whatever filter it is they have on their lens. So this is really a typical issue, and I've had to do this probably 20 or so times on various filters, but it is just that little transition period between this bayonet ring and the inner bayonet ring, so that once you mount it on your lens to be able to twist it on to lock into place, it's just too damn tight. So you need to apply grease, but typically, really it's about more than half the time it's just too damn tight, and the answer to that is a knife or some sandpaper or a Dremel tool. Just remove those hard corners from, there's three of them, like I said, 1, 2, 3. You need to file those down, and then everything's taken care of. Well, after you file it down, there'll be dust. Just remove that with rubbing alcohol or whatever, and then apply some thin grease right there, because it's not going to damage your lens. It's not going to damage anything. Okay, we're just talking about a thin layer of grease, so that when you put this on your lens and you twist it on, it mounts easily. You can actually, if you grip and hold your lens in the wrong spot, I've actually seen people with the manual focus ring lock, they've damaged their lens because they're sitting here going, "Argh!" So that's an issue, and that's the way to fix it. And a lot of people that buy used lenses, you want to buy a lens hood, and you go on eBay and they're really cheap and you buy one, you think it looks nice. It's like, well, plastic lens hood's a plastic lens hood. Yeah, pretty much true, and now Nikon is using those cheap Chinese manufacturers for all but their really expensive lenses. So this is something you're probably going to have to do, and more than a few people have asked me that question. It's like, I've got the appropriate lens hood, but it just won't mount. Or they're sitting there mounting, it's like, "Argh!" It seems like something really stupid, but more than a few people have asked that question, and there's an easy answer for it, and that's the answer. So Yeah, maybe I talk too much, but at least I explained the problem and I explained the solution, and nobody else out there has done that regarding this particular issue, because it can damage your lens. Anyway, sorry I'm only making a couple videos tonight, but just a little too sleep deprived and a little too sick lately, so thanks for watching and catch you later.